Hey crocheters, today is, never remember what day it is. I look at the clock and the calendar before I even sit down. It's Monday, November 13th, okay? I'm sorry I didn't do a video yesterday. I've had a rough couple days and I'm in rough shape, but we'll get there. Just hi, I missed you guys. All right, so I am, for our crochet along of the spider stitch blanket, I am up to what I thought was my last color, okay? But the closer I got to that last row, 17th row, the 18th row, I'm like, oh, I think I want my blanket just a little bit longer. So remember, my blanket is a whole bunch of bright colors with going dark and light, light and dark, dark and light, right? All the way up to the purple. I'm right here at the end and I'm like, nope. I think it needs more. It needs to be longer and I want to add more color. So I have been undecided for a couple of days on what I wanted to do. I actually still have the purple connected to it because I wasn't sure, because if I'm done with the purple, then I would do one last row of single crochet going across the spider stitch to even it out a little bit instead of having all that bumpy texture, so I can get ready for the border. So that's why it's still all connected. So just now, before I hit the record button, I laid out some extra yarn. I went and raided my yarn stash. I haven't bought anything. I went and raided my yarn stash to see if I had some color, some palette that would go well next to the purple. Okay. My first choice, because I've been looking at this on my yarn shelf, is this really light shade of peach from Hirschner's. It's Hirschner's Worsted 8, which just means that it's 8 ounces of yarn, but it's worsted weight, a number 4. And it's this really light shade of peach. I thought it would go really well with the purple. But, you know, laying them out together, I don't think so. Because I also have a darker shade of peach that I would have finished with. Still from Hirschner's. So I laid that out and I'm like, no, I don't think that quite works. Although I want it to, because I really, really love the peach. Then I have some Vanish's Choice. And I've got this lighter shade of blue called Aqua. It's actually Vanish's Choice Baby, and the color is Aqua. And then I have a Sapphire Blue that I would finish the blanket with. And while these are good together, and it's a good choice, this blue, it doesn't quite go with my purple. And then you're looking at it and you're like, oh yeah, that's fine. But here in real life, in lighting from outside with sunlight, nah, it's not quite what I was looking for. Okay, so I had a secondary set of blue that's more of a teal shade. Okay, and I set them next to the purple, and nope, this one is too warm in color while this one is too pale in color, right? So no. But I think I got it. Still with Vanish's Choice, and these are leftovers, so I don't have a lot of them, and they're only like 3.5 ounce skeins, 3.5 ounces, and they're leftovers to begin with. But this is, what color is that? My label is stuck in there. Pink Poodle, and then this is Raspberry. So when I sit them next to the purple. Okay, yeah, that one's better. That's a way better match. And I'll lay it out, and I'll turn the camera around and I'll show you. But so it's Monday. I haven't had a chance to crochet in days. This the light purple I was working on, I was doing it last Wednesday or Thursday. Since then, on Saturday, my husband and I, our refrigerator is broken, and it's been broken since August, late August, early September. The repairman came out, put a part in it, and it didn't work. Put a second brand new part in there that was a completely different part, and it still didn't work. And then they labeled our refrigerator as non-repairable, but my husband and I are so stubborn. This refrigerator is only 3 years old, okay? So we want to try to fix it ourselves. We're willing to break into the plastic and the insulation to get to the wires that we know need to be fixed, but the repair company won't do it because I don't know why. They didn't tell us why. So we were doing that on Saturday, and with that, I I cut my finger, and it's right above my knuckle, and this is the hand that yarn sits on when I'm crocheting. This is the hand that holds the yarn, right? And it sits over top of this finger. But when I cut myself inside the fridge, it was it's red and it's swollen. Like I say, like I cut it, but it's more of a slice because it was the really thin sheet metal that got me. And I don't need stitches or anything, but it swelled, so there's some swelling going on. And it was red and inflamed, and it was angry at me. So I've been in a lot of pain. It's like having a paper cut like times 1,000 or times 10,000. It was really bad. Well, really bad. So I haven't been able to crochet. I'm hoping. I took a shower today, washed it out really well. It is tender and sore to the touch, but but the swelling is going down. The redness has gone away. It's no longer red, so it's just a little tender to the touch. So I'm going to give it a few more days, and if it's still in my way of crocheting, I'll just wrap it up really well and keep it out of the way. And because I've got work to do, right? I've got some crocheting to do, and I want to get this done because I'm also working on a Christmas tree skirt. And I'll show you the progress on that one too. So, besides cutting myself on the refrigerator on Saturday, in order to get access to the broken part, you have to go in through the freezer. And we have a bottom freezer. So we have to take all the drawers out, take the door off, and it's a lot of squatting and a lot of sitting on your knees to reach in the back. And I have a problem with my hip. I think it's bursitis, and then I've got a sciatic problem. So by the time Sunday rolled around, I couldn't move. I was in a tremendous amount of pain, and I'm actually still am. Sitting is the worst for me right now. Laying out flat is good. Standing is better. But sitting is horrible. So the heating pad to help it relax a little bit because the bursitis is inflamed in my hip. The sciatic, I very rarely have problems with the sciatic on the left side, but because of trying to work on the refrigerator, yeah, it's bothering me. So, and then right next to that is my youngest has got a cold, and anytime my youngest has a cold, I usually wind up getting it too because we spend a lot of time in the car together driving. So I'm at the early stages of feeling under the weather, feeling a little warm, a little achy, a little tired, a little bit of congestion going on. So 3 different things, right? And then there's my mental health. I am accidentally off of my antidepressants for the last week and a half. Supply chain issues. I'm holding steady. But it scares me because I've been on those antidepressants for 10 years. So it scares me being off of them, even though it's something that's out of my control. So it's been a rough couple of days for me. Am I taking care of myself? Yes, absolutely. I am still practicing, learning how to take care of myself, putting myself first because it doesn't come naturally to me. I naturally put everybody else first, and I'm always at the bottom of the list. It's just the way I am. So I'm learning to put myself first and take care of myself, and letting everybody else in the house take care of themselves, right? And I'm getting there. But so yeah, I am taking care of myself. I'm resting. I'm staying hydrated. I'm out of vitamin C tablets, which I need to replenish my stock for the winter. Warm cups of tea, but I drink warm cups of tea all day, every day anyway. And I still use my Halloween mug all year long. You know why? It's this handle. I know this is completely random, but it's the handle. It's squared off on the top, and it's perfect for my thumb. This is the perfect cup ever. And if I find the company that makes it, and their name's on the bottom, and to see if they made just normal, not Halloween themed ones, I'll buy other cups from them. But I love my cup. So, how are you guys doing with your blankets? Are they getting bigger? I sit here and I tell you all about my progress with the blanket, but you can't sit here and tell me all about yours. And I wish was a little easier to do that, you know? So I want you guys in the comments below, tell me how your blankets are going. Are you still enjoying the spider stitch? Are you able to work on it every day? Do you have a set schedule for when you crochet? Like some people working out of the house, some people with little kids in the house. Do you have to find time to do it, or do you one of those people who just schedule it and you do it at the same time every day? I think me, I just, whenever I feel like it and whenever I want to, I will sit down with my hook and tune everything out and crochet, you know. So let me know down in the comments below how your blankets are going, how your progress with it. For those of you who feel like you cannot participate, this is a very casual crochet along, because I've seen some in the comments that you haven't been able to. It's casual. If you started 4 weeks after we did and you're going to last 4 months longer than we do, that's fine. That's absolutely fine. Crochet at your own pace, okay? I'm on a time crunch because I usually take a break physically from crocheting in December and January, so I have to kind of get this done. But you don't have to. Just take your time. Jump in whenever you can. And for one of you is dealing with a wrist injury, just heal first, okay? And then just join us when you can. It's okay. Keep tagging me in your pictures on Instagram. Oh my goodness, the color combinations you ladies come up with blows my mind, and your blankets are gorgeous and they're beautiful. And don't worry, I'm still working on a video to show everybody's blankets. I just need a few more pictures. Okay, you guys out there, send me an email, grannysquarepeg@gmail.com. Find me on Instagram. It's Granny Square Peg. You know, I do have a Facebook page. I did have to turn my messages off on Facebook for a while. I've been getting a lot of spam at my Facebook Granny Square Peg page. It's been absolutely ridiculous. And Facebook does not give me a lot of control over it. So I turned messages off for a little while. I have turned it back on. So you can send me a message and you can send me a picture of your blanket, okay? It might take me a little longer to get to it because Facebook frustrates the crap out of me. But, yeah. That's it. All right, so let's take you guys off the tripod, show you how I went through my color selection process, okay? Okay, so remember, I started with pinks, then I moved to blues, oranges, greens, and purples that are looking very blue in the camera. Hopefully it does not look like that in the video. Okay, the lighting is not the best in here today. So what I did was I just laid my colors out like this. Okay, and I'd be like, does that work? Okay, and then here, I'm going to sit you down for a minute. I need 2 hands. Okay, so it looks something like this, with the lighter shades sitting next to the purple to see which ones I liked better, and then their corresponding darker shades are sitting behind them, right? So I really wanted this peach to work, but tone-wise, it's just, this peach has more of a white undertone to it, while this is, so it's a cool, I think, and while this is warm, so the peach is out. Doesn't quite. And then my peach might be a little too similar to the orange, but it's not. It's really not. So, no peach, right? And then I go to the blues. This shade of teal. It's actually, I don't know, it doesn't work for me. And I thought it would, because these two teals together, the darker teal and the lighter teal, are really great in person. But I don't think they would go well with the purple, which brought me to this shade of blue, right? And it is good, but it's got the wrong feel. This blue is it feels too much like a baby color, so I don't want my blanket to have baby blanket vibes to it. So yeah, that one's out, which leaves me with this, and I think this is perfect. My only problem is that these were leftovers. So I have 2 skeins of this. They were left over from another project. I'm not sure if I have another one of the raspberry color. I'm hoping that I do, and maybe it's just lost in the shuffle downstairs on my shelf. But I think it would be kind of cool because I started with shades of pink, and I can end with shades of pink. What do you guys think? I know everybody's going to have their favorites and it'd be like, nah, you can do that anyway. So I do want to hear what you guys think, but I think my mind is made up. So as soon as my finger is better, I am going to get to work and finish up the body of this blanket. So I'm going to pull out my Christmas tree skirt real quick and give you an update on that. Oh, look at my tree skirt. Oh my God, it's coming out so good. Oh, I'm loving these shades of brown. My husband and I are doing a woodland theme on our tree. And the beauty of this, the way I'm making it, is that if we ever do a gingerbread theme, like gingerbread man in a gingerbread house, this would totally work for that too. All we got to do is add in some dark reds and some whites. Oh, perfect. So anyway, I have this dark shade of brown that's called chocolate, and I broke it up with the medium shade of brown, which the Red Heart called it warm brown. All right, so then I use that same warm brown for the next section. Warm brown here with this creamy white to break it up. And then from there, I moved to alarms to pick up the kids that I don't have to go pick up today. So after the warm brown, this is buff, I think is what they call it. Hold on. Yes, they call it buff. All right. So I actually use practically all of my buff on this section because the tree skirt is getting rounder, because you see how that section is so small right there, and it's getting bigger and rounder because I'm increasing. So I wound up using the whole skein. So I needed to buy another one. So I wanted to go back to the warm brown. So like this buff would be in the middle, and it would have warm brown, and then a dark brown. But I ran out of warm brown. Okay, this is all I have left. So I went shopping at Joann's, the craft store. There was no warm brown from Red Heart Super Saver on the shelf. So I came home and I went to the company that sells it online, yarnspirations.com. They didn't even have warm brown listed. So then I went to Hirschners.com, because when I can't find it at the company that makes it, Hirschners, being a catalog company, usually has everything. They didn't have any warm brown either. So then what's a girl to do? I need that warm shade of brown. I really do. But I didn't even bother looking at eBay or Etsy to see if anybody's got it and selling it at really inflated prices. So since Joann's has its own line of yarn called Big Twist Value, that is so very similar to Red Heart Super Saver, I went looking there to see if I can find a warm shade of brown. And I did. It's not a perfect match, but I'm going to show you. It is so close. So this is my Red Heart Super Saver. And this is, let's turn this ball of yarn around so we can read it. Big Twist Value. And I'm sorry for those who live in the UK or Europe or Australia that you don't have access to Big Twist Value. It belongs to Joann's, the craft store. But see, it is so similar. It's a little darker, but that's okay. So I have a comparable warm shade of brown. My tree skirt. Oh my God, it's coming out so good. Okay, I don't know if this is going to sound weird or not, but I feel so much better talking to you guys. My mental state has really taken a hit these last couple days with hurting myself and working on the fridge, and then the pain in my hip. I just, it's been one thing after another. I feel so much better talking to you guys. And I know that you're not talking back to me, that I'm really just talking to the camera, but it really, it does something for me. It truly does. It brings me joy to talk to you guys, and it makes me feel so much better. The spider stitch blanket, I mean, I have made a handful of spider stitch blankets in the last 5 years, and this, hands down, is my favorite. I love the colors that I found that I put together, and mixing the yarn companies, because as long as they're similar in texture and weight, I'm loving this blanket. It is going to be so gorgeous when it is done. So yeah, I've made up my mind. I'm doing these 2 shades of pink. Keep your fingers crossed that I've got a little bit more of this, because there's no way I'm getting 17 rows out of that. 12 maybe. I mean, I might be able to get, I don't know, 15 out of this one, but I'm going to choose these. Okay, I choose you. As soon as my finger feels better and I can have that yarn run across that finger and not hit that sore spot, we're good to go. So I don't know if Red Heart Super Saver has stopped making the warm brown, and if they did, I really could write them a strongly worded letter, because in all the shades of brown they've had over the years, that warm, they called it warm brown, was the best color of brown they have ever had. And I've been using Red Heart Super Saver since I was 10 years old, and in the 80s, the early 80s. So it was by far the best shade of brown they have ever had. And if they stopped making it, shame on them. You know? So I'm glad that Joann's, as a craft store and a fabric store, has made their own line of yarn that has a shade of brown that is just, I mean, that is such a good. So what I have to do is I have to sit with my tree skirt, and I have to frog or rip out. You know why we call it frogging, right? Because you rip, 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 ribbit, ribbit, ribbit. We sound like frogs. That's why we call it frogging. So I'm going to sit and take a row and a little bit. I'm going to frog that back to this buff color, and then add in my big twist yarn. That's the name of the yarn, and I will go from there. So I am having a lot of fun with my tree skirt. The tree skirt that I've been making since 1989. I love coming up with different color combinations for it, for a different feel and a different vibe. One year, way back in the early to mid 90s, I made one for my sister-in-law that was the creamy white or antique white, and I used a shade of mauve. You know, mauve is like kind of like half purple, half pink, to give it a Victorian feel to it, and it was gorgeous. And then I got this idea in my head the other night that I would love to do it in red and white stripes to create like a candy cane effect. I think that would really be good. I have quite a few skeins of red downstairs. I would probably have to go look for some white. And me, I really love the antique white, the creamy white, the off-white. Those are my favorite. And I was wondering if that would do well with the candy cane look instead of doing the bright white. So when I'm done with this tree skirt, there's a possibility I will start on another one, because that's how it is for me. Always ready to start the next project, the next blanket. And the Christmas tree skirt next to blankets is my favorite project to do. Always. Okay, so I think that is it for my updates today. Yes. I haven't been able to crochet because I hurt myself. My mental state has taken a hit, but I am taking care of myself. I love the pictures of your blankets. They're awesome. Let me apologize. Ooh, 1 for burping, and then 2 for the camera, because you're sitting on my bed with me. So every time I move, the tripod moves. it's hard this time of year between November, December, January, and then going into February. It's hard for filming downstairs because the sun is just not on the right side of the house, which makes it conducive to filming. So I'm in my bedroom, which, well, this is where I've been for the last couple of days trying to recuperate. It's my best place for sunlight at the moment. And my little dinosaur. My dinosaur right there, he's brown and a raspberry shade of pink. His name is Mr. Raspberry. Because he's kind of like half dinosaur, half dragon. And he's from, remember Webkins way back in the day? He's my first Webkins. I think my one and only Webkins, Mr. Raspberry. Yeah, so now I'm getting goofy, so I need to go do a picture for a thumbnail. Thumbnails. I hate thumbnails. I love filming videos. I love doing edits. I love doing uploads, but pictures for thumbnails, don't like it. Nope, it's a pain in my, it's a pain. All right, guys. Oh, and thank you so much for all the birthday wishes. I was so overwhelmed with all the comments. I think I've got like 50 comments in there, and I plan on going back. Like I heart everything. I heart all your comments just to let you know I'm there and I'm seeing them and I'm reading them, and then I usually go back and answer them. Yeah, I find that's the way that works for me with interacting on YouTube in the comment section. So I will go back and thank all of you for your birthday wishes, and to all of your own family members who have birthdays in and around mine, happy birthday to them. And I appreciate you guys so much. You are so totally awesome. I never have a problem with how old I am, because age to me is just a number. So at 52 years old, I don't feel like I'm 52. I still feel like I'm 25. Here's the thing. I met my husband when I was 26 and a half. So in about another half a year, it will be an even split. 26 and a half years without my husband, and then 26 and a half years with him, right? So then next year it'll flip and it'll be more years with my husband than without. And I think that's kind of neat. I'm like a numbers nerd, okay? So I don't know, for some reason that means something to me. Yeah, so I want to thank you guys for being here and for sticking with me and my inconsistency with putting out my videos. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate each and every single one of you, and hopefully my finger will let me crochet in the next day or two so I can get some of this work done. For the border on the spider stitch blanket, I am thinking, see, now I want my border to be wide, okay, but I don't want it to be, I don't want this stitches to be thick and dense, because the spider stitch can be that way. I want to loosen it up a little bit. I'm playing with the idea of doing a half double crochet, and for those in the UK, it'd be a half treble. I'm thinking of doing a half double crochet, right? But when I come around on the next round, instead of working in the top of the half double, is to work in between. I love working in between stitches. It works really well with the half double. It works really well with the double crochet. And what that does is it loosens up the weave and the texture a little bit, and it gives it a little bit more drape, and it keeps it from being so close together and so compact when you're working in between the stitches. It gives it a lot of movement and a lot of drape, but it's still, you know, it's not wholly, so you can see through it. So I'm thinking of the half double in between stitches. And then for the last round, what I love to do, and I did it on my Karen Cakes leftovers blanket. What I love to do is the reverse single crochet or the crab stitch on the last round. So you see, like, this blanket is just single crochets, and because we go around and around and around and we don't turn, they wind up stacked on top of each other, which is fine. And I like that. I find it to be simple and effective, and it makes for an awesome border. But I think I'm tired of working single crochets. So as much as I love the spider stitch blanket, it is a single crochet, chain one, single crochet, chain one, single crochet. I think I'm all single crocheted out. So I think I need to do something a little different. So I'm thinking of a half double crochet, but in between stitches. So guys, let me know down in the comments below. Do you have any suggestions for the border? I plan on making my spider stitch blanket border thick, like this one, lots of inches, okay? Because I like really thick borders on my blanket. I always went the cheap way and the easy way and the lazy way. But nowadays, since I've got time, money, and energy, I like thick blankets and not little thin ones. So let me know what you guys, if you have a preference, or if you have any ideas, if you just make it up as you go along, like I do a lot of the time. All right, so that's it. Let me go get these edits done and get this video up so it's not 10 o'clock tonight. Okay, love you guys. And so today's Monday. I'm aiming for another video on the weekend, and I will see you guys in the comments below, or at Instagram, or at Facebook, or in real life. Anybody live in Bucks County? Let me know. Bye, guys.